What's going on, everybody?
Hey, guys.
It's Evan and Lyle from River's Edge Cutlery and riversedgecutlery.com. Welcome back to episode 2 of the new and improved Rec Report. Lyle, do you find anything weird about the set today?
Yeah, for some reason I was just feeling like we needed more space, and I don't know why.
I know. I feel like it kind of feel like there was 3 urinals, and I just picked the middle one so I could be right next to you. But it kind of feels like there's room for another person. But
I was
I
going
don't
to
know.
say I'm a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable. But man, it would be awesome if we had a special guest.
It would be. It would be.
Ah,
Oh my goodness!
get in here, buddy.
Hey, look, everybody.
We're getting the gang back together.
How's it going?
What's up, Riley?
Not too much.
You want to let the people know where you've been at?
Well, about 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, I quit everything that I was doing here, and I moved to Bend, Oregon for school. I'm there for flight school.
Nice.
I'm kind of wrapping it up right now, and I've just had a little free time, and I was able to come back to town here and just hanging out.
Awesome. So, is it kind of exactly like the movie Top Gun?
Not quite.
You guys don't really
We're
play
moving-
volleyball shirtless or anything like that?
Okay. Maybe
Of
some
course.
aspects.
Okay.
But-
Okay. We'll talk about this off camera then.
Are the planes
We're moving a little bit slow.
planes a little slower?
Planes are a little bit slower. All right. Okay.
Kenny Loggins.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of danger zone being played. But Riley, we are super psyched to have you back for hopefully we can get a couple episodes in.
Yeah, we should have some time to do a few.
Okay. Cool.
That would be sweet.
So Riley, since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time.
I'm not gonna lie, I was singing that in my head right there.
Yeah. Pop right in.
Since you've been gone from REC over in Bend, what's been the most carried knife or just EDC item in general that you've been rocking with?
That's a tough question. My EDC has kind of stayed the same, except for the fact that I don't carry the Spartan as much.
Okay.
I've noticed that it's a heavy knife. I mean, of course, it's always been, but now I'm just like, there's some better options, lighter options.
Lighter options. So what have you been rocking with recently?
I'm either rocking the Manix 2,
Great knife.
or while I'm working, I rock the Manix 2 lightweight.
Okay.
If I have shorts on, I'm usually rocking the Dragonfly.
Okay.
And if I'm in the water, I like the Native 5 LC200N Salt.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot you had that knife.
Yeah.
So
Makes
you're pretty Spider Coast centric these days.
I tend to be. I also carry the Bug Out a lot too. Benchmade and Spyderco are probably the 2 biggest players.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, as far as folders go.
I used to have a couple Manixes, but my dad actually took both of them. He has both of them.
He's got good taste.
Yeah. Yes, he does. So he took my M390, the potato one, with M390 and brown scales. He took that one.
I remember that.
And then he also took, I had a BD1 or maybe just BD1 because I used to do both, but the translucent blue lightweight. I love that knife.
Nice.
I remember your potato knife had like the best action.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
that. Yeah, well, if you ever want to see it, you're gonna have to text my dad and have him come bring it to the shop. But
Dad, can I borrow my knives back?
yeah, can I have them back? But you have a little bit more of an opportunity to get into some outdoorsy stuff out there.
I bought a Tacoma right before I left.
Yep.
My mom and I drove that out there with a little U-Haul trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Got everything set up. I ended up buying a rooftop tent for the back.
Oh, nice.
Felt like it was a necessity out there. I mean, almost every truck you pass had one on it.
Right.
Had to join the party.
Yeah, you got to fit in.
Gotta
Bought a
keep up.
tent and just did a lot of camping from there. Went on a lot of really cool trips.
Nice.
I do spend most of my time at school, but while I'm not at school, usually trying to travel around a little bit.
That's what I'll be doing in October.
You're going out west.
Yep. Gonna be so much fun.
Yep. So you got any pointers for places to be out there?
I was gonna ask.
Man, if you're west in general, you got to go to the national parks. Yosemite was probably my favorite one.
All right.
Yellowstone was cool. Tetons are cool. Crater Lake is in Oregon, a smaller park, but that was really cool.
Nice.
And really just taking like those dirt roads
Yep.
Mhm.
and just going where nobody else is, you tend to find some cool stuff.
That's
my
awesome.
plan.
Can we you want to talk a little bit more about the rap you did on the taco?
Yeah, so if you've followed LT Right Knives at all on their social medias and stuff, you may have noticed that their trucks, not all the employees, but some of the employees
A lot
have
of 'em.
a knife wrap on their truck. It's a vinyl kind of sticker, not necessarily wrap.
Sure.
But it almost looks like zebra print. Super cool.
Yep.
Anyways, I contacted LT, right? I was like, hey, man, I really like your guys' wraps. I've got this truck here. I would love to put your stickers on. And he was all for it. He gave me a call that day. I sent him an email. He called me back. And he's like, absolutely, I'll send out the stickers. He sent them out a few weeks after that, put them on my truck. We can probably set up a picture here.
Yeah, yeah.
And
you got to get an up close shot also because you like when you're far away, like you said, it looks like zebra print, but when you're up close, you can see it's all of LT's iconic design.
That's so cool.
That's the other cool thing. They're all his.
Yeah, send me a pic. We'll put it up.
Yeah, it's super sweet. Super sweet. You can have you had any good knife conversations with people that started?
I will say the coolest knife conversation I've had with that truck is I was at Winco, which is it's a grocery store, not a grocery store in the Midwest, only in the Western states. I was walking back, finishing grocery shopping, and some guy came up to me. He's like, hey, what's the deal with your truck? And I kind of gave him the rundown of who it was and why I had it. And he was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, what's your name? He said, oh, I'm Lucas. And I was like, oh, nice to meet you, Lucas. Turns out that was Lucas Burnley of Burnley brand.
That's
or Burnley
so
Knife.
cool.
No
That's so cool.
Lucas Burnley lives in Bend.
How in the world?
Yeah, it was a really cool conversation.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, stuff like that tends to attract other nerds like us that are into
so
stuff like
awesome.
that. But that's freaking awesome, man. But so last week we kind of talked about some of the knives that I missed, just not being super tapped into social media. This week, Lyle, what you got for us?
Yeah, so I went around the showroom floor, and picked up some cool things that are mostly pretty new, or at least new editions of something that was old.
Okay.
And we've got social media content out there on some of these, but some not quite yet. One thing I was really excited about this year was the re-release of a 1999 knife, the 710 from Benchmade. So I'm going to pass that around and
show that
I
off.
haven't seen this in person, just on camera.
Yeah, this is actually my first
so
time seeing it
cool.
in person also.
I really, really dig that one. And it's S90V. It's aluminum, milled aluminum on the scales. And I believe that was the first knife, the 1999 one, was the first knife with that axis lock.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
I like that it's manual. I don't know, in my head, I was thinking when I was seeing pictures of this, I don't know if there were models previously from Benchmade that looked like this but were assisted, but I'm super psyched that it's
Something like
manual.
that, yeah.
I know that there's people that are super into assisted. I feel like it's kind of like the redheaded stepchild of opening mechanisms. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but I'm super psyched that this one is manual. I think aluminum scales. This is gonna sound crazy. I think aluminum scales don't get enough love. I think they're starting to come back into fashion a little bit more, but they're even lighter than titanium. Not nearly as strong, but this has full steel liners.
Pretty tough, but
yeah. There's just full steel liners. So if you wanted that look and that feel, but you're looking for a little bit less expensive of a building material and a much lighter option, I love the aluminum.
The ergos on that are really good too.
Yeah, this is a great knife.
Feels full-size knife, but it's still got a little bit of elegant.
They did a gold
design
class
to it.
in that knife this year, right?
I'm sure they did.
I think so.
Yeah, that was.
And if they did, the comments will tell us because they're very good at that.
Yeah, let
Riley,
us
is this light enough for you to carry?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
that knife's pretty light.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to be self-conscious about any knife I hand you. I'm like, is this light enough for Riley?
That's funny.
I think the issue is that he doesn't wear a belt, so he doesn't really want his pants to get pulled down.
Yeah.
Wear a belt.
I'm just messing with you, bro. What else we got,
All
Lyle?
right. Next, we got one we talked about last week. This is a Civivi, so budget territory here. Except I opted for the Damascus steel because I loved the wave pattern on that.
Yep.
And this is the Brian Brown knife that we were talking about last week. Oh, failure. So good.
Only happens when you're on camera.
Very, very cool. Let me give it to you.
The knife opening failures only happen when you're on camera.
That's right.
Yeah, this one's
Only to me.
only and only to Lyle.
But last week too, I think.
I'm super biased because I think Brian Brown's one of my favorite people in the knife community. But
That's
this
the X
oh,
one.
see, now I feel it too.
You can do it.
No, I can't. I don't have any. I don't have any
Open it.
fingernails. But I love this. I love this blade style. This blade shape. It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of the Jaeger a bit.
It's like a mini Jaeger. almost.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite knives that he's ever put out. But that's an awesome knife.
Doug
You want to
tells
show that
me-
off to the people?
Yeah.
That's named after one of the jets
Come on, Riley.
Come
first
on,
broke
man.
the sound barrier, maybe?
I feel like he does a
He
lot
knows all that
of
stuff. But
yeah.
I probably forgot the
Yeah.
accurate thing, but
I feel like Brian and Doug, if they haven't sat down and talked
Right.
planes, they definitely should, because they definitely have a lot in common with that stuff.
Riley probably appreciates that a little bit too, with the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
pilot thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Not a big history guy, Riley.
Not as much as it is.
not a huge history guy.
Yeah. So there's a budget option. I tried to get something from different price points on the table here, and here is
I always appreciate that.
the Kunwu Padre, which I wish I owned this. It's so very cool, and it's the X Padre with the X lock,
That's sweet.
and the action is ridiculous. This one is a diamond textured
yeah.
titanium, and that's L Max.
Oh, that's cool.
I think
Neat
most of the ones
choice.
we have right now are L Max, but he's released those in Van X Super Clean and
Oh,
stuff like
cool.
that.
That's neat.
He's
That's a
working
really
on
good
some
idea.
Awesome stuff. My S Tau is Van X. That's the only knife I've ever owned or held that had Van X on it. So that was kind of cool.
That's really neat.
But I love the blade shape. I mean, it's just kind of cool.
And
Unique.
were those previously frame locks?
They've had a couple of different versions of that.
Okay.
Yes, I believe the frame lock, and I don't know if there was a third version. No, I think it's just a frame lock and the X lock.
I always like it when
We've had
people
both in.
expand the offering with different locking mechanisms. That always
Kind of switch
kind
it
of
up.
breathes fresh life into a model.
And we had two
yeah.
exclusives that were blacked out.
Okay.
Really pretty DLC variants that sold out very, very quickly. Both a right-hand model, and then we just got in the left-hand
Oh,
model
cool.
recently, and they sold out as well. So,
That's awesome. Not many
Pretty
people, and those were frame locks.
I don't remember which ones those were.
Okay.
I think they might have been X-Locks, but
The action's insane.
Yeah, the action's really good on those.
really good. So
Speaking of interesting steel choices,
Uh-huh.
what do we got going on here?
last but certainly not least, the Spyderco Sage 5 in Rex 121.
Very cool.
Beautiful, beautiful knife. I think everybody loves the Sage 5. It's like the perfect EDC size. And you can get the G10 scales like this one, or for a little bit cheaper, you can get the lightweights, which I just found out have full steel liners in the lightweights. So still pretty tough, but also obviously a little bit lighter and a little bit grippier because of that. Although that G10 is really nice and grippy.
I know it's always a tough choice because it's a little bit more expensive, but the G10 on Spyderco models always has that nice sandpaper grit to it.
Yeah.
And that's the
I
thing
like the
with
color too.
yeah, I do too, dude. Like that always makes it a little bit better.
Yep.
The thing with 121 is that the edge retention on these is
ridiculous.
off the charts. It's another steel you don't see super often. I think really in like kind of the mass market space, Spyderco is probably one of the only companies that really messes with it.
Yep.
I have seen some custom fixed blades, I want to say, in Rex 121.
That's cool.
But other than that, especially if you're a steel collector,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that want to have one of each new different steel that comes out.
Yeah.
So if you're a steel collector, this might be a good option for you.
I'm kind of a little bit that. I'm not the have to have every Spyderco guy,
Yes.
but I do kind of want one of these. But I think I'm going to go with the lightweight one if I get one.
Especially being on YouTube, you're like, oh well, I gotta try that seal so I
Right.
can know if I recommend it to people. And I always rationalize my knife purchases like
honest,
that.
Like I don't put them through the ringer and destroy them to see
Yeah.
how long they're going to last. But I know some people who do. That's their
Oh, yeah.
thing. That's their hobby.
My knives
Absolutely.
have been
See
through
how
it.
long I have to.
You're nice, yeah, right, yeah, right, Riley. If you want to stress test a knife, send it over to Riley.
Riley.
Yeah, send it over to Riley. He'll beat
it up good.
Yeah, he'll beat up your knives, guys. I have a little bit of an off-topic question for you guys. Something that I cooked up on the way over here. If you could have any car, money no option, availability no option, just appear in your garage, what would it be? And what is the knife equivalent of that dream car?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough choices.
There's a lot of tough choices here.
So the last couple of years, I've been working at a suspension shop. We mostly just do lift kits
Okay.
on trucks and vans and sometimes cars. but we've been doing a lot with Super Duties, the Ford Super Duties.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it may not be like a dream car for most, but a brand new Ford Super Duty with a lift kit on it, like one of the ones that we put on at the shops. That's what I want.
That's a sweet.
I don't,
especially for your lifestyle.
yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if this knife necessarily goes directly with that truck, but it's one that, or not one in particular, but like a maker I've been eyeing recently, and that's Grayson Jennings. I want one of his slip joints so bad, and I think it could go with the truck, depending on how I had it optioned out.
So tell me a little bit more about the Grayson Jennings slip joints. Are they more traditional looking? Are they a little bit more
Definitely.
modern?
No, they're more traditional.
Okay.
Handmade in North Carolina.
Oh,
by
wow.
Grayson Jennings. And I've only seen him at the shows. I've seen Grayson there, and I've seen his knives. And I guess they are at the shop too sometimes.
Very
and
good.
They've been going up in price like crazy because he's been winning awards, and his craftsmanship is insane on the knives.
Is it the kind of thing where if you feel like you don't buy one in the next couple of years, then you probably will never be able to afford one or never want to spend the money on one because it'll just
potentially.
keep getting more and more expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They're pretty awesome though.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
That's cool.
So if we just want to go down the line,
Yeah.
I think for me,
Gives me more time to think.
yeah, exactly. I think for me, in an original Shelby Cobra
Dude.
would be so cool.
Oh, yeah.
I've even my dad and I talk about it all the time, getting one of those kit cars and either just buying one that's already built by like a reputable shop or just getting the kit and putting it together ourselves.
I think you got it.
You think we could figure it out?
Yeah.
That's a good muscle car.
But an original one would be pretty incredible. I've only ever driven the kits, obviously, because the originals are super rare and
Right.
really sought after and cool.
I've driven one in video games.
Yeah,
Put that out there.
I've driven one of the kit cars, and yeah.
No
yeah,
way.
I'll send you the picture if you want to throw it up here. But we,
It's cool.
even before I worked at REC, I worked at a detail shop
Oh, I remember
with one of my best friends. And there was a dealership over in Plain City. There was like a kind of a cool exotic dealership, a smaller dealership across the street from our detail shop, and they had one in stock at a certain time, and we had a good relationship with them, and they let us drive it.
That's great.
And just like the street presence that thing has, it's super impractical. So it had to be like a second or a third car, whatever.
Daily driver, man.
But
Come
yeah,
on.
but it is
Gas
just
money is no
so cool. People love seeing them out on the street, and it's not like driving like a Lamborghini or Ferrari or something like that, where people will look at you and kind of like jeer at you, and it's more like people just think it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
And I think kind of going American made, traditional, kind of a throwback vibe. I think my dream knife would just be a really, really pristine Sabenza 21.
Yeah.
I love that knife. When I think of a knife, I know I'm repping the CRK sweatshirt today. I wore this to work, and this is just what I was wearing today. But when I think of a knife, I just think of a Chris Reeve Sabenza.
Dude, those are fantastic knives.
And growing up, I looked up to them, like watching YouTube reviews of them and whatnot, and it was just always something I could never afford. Now I've owned a couple, and I still own an Zon, but that like an OG 21 would be super cool to have.
I remember the first time you met Tim, you're like, whoa, that was really cool. I think ever since then, your love for Chris Reeve has been even greater.
I do love Tim Reeve. He's super cool. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I think really after I got this sweatshirt, I could just never stop repping him.
Since I started working with Rec, man, I have been in like La La Land, at the events with all the cool makers. Like we talked about last week, meeting the Demcos.
Yeah.
And, LT Wright was there, and it was just so cool to meet those guys. So I'm like, I'm supposed to be like working, and I'm just fanboying, just like total. Yeah, anyway, but
It's the best.
I see what you mean.
All right, Lyle, what's your choice?
All right, so am I allowed to go 2 options?
You can do whatever
Break
you
the
want.
rules?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
I didn't hear those rules.
I guess the viewers will decide if they allow it or not.
Okay.
They'll flame you in the comments if they don't like it.
Honestly, I'm having trouble picking the second knife, so maybe I'll just go with the first idea.
Okay,
I've always been a Corvette guy,
sure.
and I'm thinking a classic Corvette Stingray or one of the earlier models with the side scoops. one of those years. I love those. I know they're not fast, but they're just gorgeous.
Yeah.
If I had to go with a modern one for the speed, I would go with like the model years before the current line,
Okay.
where they look more like Ferraris now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The what was it? C7 was
Yes,
the last
exactly.
was the last generation before the mid-engine
They look more
switch.
like American muscle, you know.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of more prone to that. And if we went with that, I think I would choose Chris Reeve as well.
Nice.
But I have some. And so one American maker that I don't have one of his knives for, and it seems like they're all over Instagram, but they're super hard to get, would be an Arius.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We have one in
for sure.
the consignment case.
I saw
down
that.
below.
I
right
saw
now.
that.
If you come in the store, you might end up with one.
Does your wife watch these videos?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Cut this part. Cut this part.
I'm going on vacation. I can't afford to buy a knife right now. So,
Yeah,
and it
I feel you.
wouldn't be that one anyway.
I feel you.
But they are just the design lines of that knife. They're just super slick. And I've played with one. I think Brian has one now. So I played with that one.
Yep.
I've checked out the one in the consignment case. And yeah, they're just super clean looking. And yeah, great design. Just a little bit out of my price range right now. But
Does your dad still have the Cerakoted one?
I think he probably does.
does he?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Now both brothers have
Yes.
an Arius. That's
United under the
cool. I
Arius.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's awesome. Guys, let us know down below what a dream car, dream knife combo of your dreams is. You think that's a pretty good question? Or you think it's
I think it's a great question.
Is that kind of off the? Is that kind of off the wall?
I like it.
No, it
Sometimes
goes-
I zone out when I'm driving and I
You
just
gotta
come
get
up with weird ideas.
Out of the knife world sometimes.
Yes, you do.
So
Yes,
my
you do.
other vehicle would have been
Yeah.
a tricked out Forerunner with
Yeah.
maybe some upgrades since price is no limit, and all of the camping and off roading and overlanding gear that you could imagine. That would be
You know what knife I would pair with that?
do it.
So obviously the Japanese connection would be there. I know there's a huge Japanese knife culture. I don't know too many Japanese knife makers,
I'm thinking of one right now.
but you got it. Lay it out there.
Rockstead. Is that what we're talking about?
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's
well.
a good one.
I mean, if
just-
money's
I
no
w-
object.
I was just going crazy outdoorsy,
Oh.
like LT Wright, and that's where I was. That's the direction I was going to go in. But Rockstead is sweet.
if you're going Japanese,
If you're going Japanese, yeah.
they're high end. I've only ever held one, and it was butter. It was so cool.
How about Rockstead previous gen, Acura Honda NSX?
That would go.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty money. Or R34 GTR.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Dude.
All right, guys. Well, I don't want to take everyone
all
else's
video game cars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the only reason that we all know and love cars, really. Anyway, is from
Right.
playing Gran
Geeking
Turismo
out,
and
man.
Forza growing up. But guys, let us know down below dream car, dream knife combos. Should we do some pocket dumps?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
What do you have today, Evan?
Well, previously, this is going to be shocking to everyone in the audience. I previously did not have a knife in my pocket. I just came from a little bit of training, so I just wasn't rocking with much today.
Man card.
Man, God, I'll hand it over. I'll hand it over happily. But today I have, thanks to Doug,
Dude,
I have a Demco 8020. This is the slim.
this is the slim.
This is the slim.
those
I've always actually wanted one of these.
Yeah.
When we were back in our old store, when I first started working at REC, we got a shipment of them in, and that
They're
was
so good.
yeah. Oh my gosh, they were just kind of nondescript boxes back then. I had no idea what it was. We kind of put them out on the shelves, and then Brian put them up online. And then Brian was like, "Hey, can you take those all off the shelves? They just sold." And I was like,
As they do.
I probably should have bought one of those." But yeah, do you want to show the camera that?
Yeah,
Our
for
last
sure.
batch from our anniversary event sold
Yes.
out immediately, and I think they sold 30 on the floor. I'm
That
not
day?
sure about that. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, it was big, whatever the number was.
It's just super cool. I love the ambidextrous lock. Super robust
They
lock.
came in with like a huge like rolling Pelican case full of knives.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they didn't go home with too many. So that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
That's pretty much all I got. I got a watch. I don't know if people care about watches, but
Some people do.
This was a gift from my lovely wife when I got off
Oh,
of
that's
coaching. But it's a marathon. This is the smaller, the 36 millimeters. I think it's the M SAR, not the G SAR. But I love this watch. It's all scratched up from going to the ground at work.
Oh, hard use. It's a hard use watch.
Yeah. What you got, Riley?
So when I fly here, I typically don't check a bag. So then I just get to go shopping in my dad's safe.
Nice.
Today I came out with the Luft Avant, I believe this is.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Been carrying it for like 3 days now.
Is it light enough for you?
It's very light.
Okay, good.
There you go. That's cool.
Rock anything else? I know you at least have one watch.
Shoe knife?
I do have a watch.
Oh.
It's back in Oregon.
Okay, cool. Well, that's all I really care about. What you got, Lyle?
All right, I got 2. And I think since you guys were kind of talking about this company a lot earlier, you might appreciate this.
Oh, that's the exact one. Oh, no, that's the 15V one.
This is
Dang
the
it.
15V Manix 2, Big Brown Bear. Shout out to Sean Houston, I believe.
Yeah,
Here you go.
he's an awesome guy. Yeah, this reminds me so much of the knife that my dad stole from me.
There you go.
But 15V is actually even cooler than Bowler M390. I can't close
Fun
my
deal.
left hand. You go,
You can-
Riley.
You can do it.
No, I can't. I realize I rely so much on the clip
Yeah.
on that other side to like give my
Just-
fingers somewhere to go. But yeah,
It's
I
a
love that
fantastic
thing.
knife. I love carrying this thing. It's both beefy and slicey.
Yeah.
I love that about it.
Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Right. And then
I like that.
this is a special knife.
Ooh.
This is a new edition of the first knife I bought at River's Edge Cutlery.
Nice.
Way back in the day, a Sprint Run S35 VN Paramilitary 2 with the new Lynch Northwest exclusive Rex scale.
I love those skills.
And they look beautiful. It's kind of, sorry, it's
Oh, it's got a little weight to
it's
it.
warm because it's been sitting in my pocket. Hope you don't think that's weird.
I don't think it's weird.
Okay.
Do you know how many knives people have handed me in my time here?
I just got a little self-conscious when I handed that to you. I was like, I've been sitting on that.
Yeah, people pull knives out of the craziest
Yeah.
spots and hand them over to you when you do this line of work.
And you can tell I've had that for 10, 12 years.
Wow.
Maybe? Of course, brand new scales, new clothes. But that set from Lynch Northwest is just a game changer with the topo design. It's titanium.
Tie scales, yeah.
They're so
Basically a new knife.
nice.
It is, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we still have a bunch of those on the website right now.
The scales.
Yep.
Very
and
good.
The pocket clip, and I don't know if we sold out of the pry bar or not, but there was a pry bar that came with this as well. And we dropped them at Blade Show this year.
Very good.
Very, very cool.
Awesome.
So that's my pocket carry.
Sweet.
I have a GPS watch, but it's not like, a watch guy's watch probably.
Fancy.
More of an outdoors guy's
More
watch.
of a get me home from the trail, and it has done that a few times, so I'm digging it.
Then it's the best watch you own.
Right?
If it saved your skin, it saved
did.
that's a good watch.
Yep.
All right, guys. So let us know down below what you're carrying today. Also, let us know about your dream car, dream knife
That'd be
combos. And I'm loving the comments we got on the last video.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks so much for the welcome back, guys. Please give Riley a nice warm welcome. I know we missed him.
I've got an idea for next week too. By the way, I don't know we'll be able to do this every week
Yep.
starting out because again we're both full-time
Yep.
employees of other locations, and Riley is in town for a while, so we're gonna definitely try to do next week so we can get him in. But just disclaimer on that. But
Bear with us.
yeah, I had an idea for next week though. Maybe we pick like a favorite comment.
Oh yeah,
Send a pack of stickers or something.
I love it.
Whoever gets the favorite comment.
Awesome.
I don't know how to pick that. And be
Oh, I
fair.
have a great
whichever
random comment
one.
picker. Do you remember that?
You could do that or whoever gets
Random.
more likes.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I like that.
let the community vote.
Let the community vote.
Favorite comment.
If there's a tie, we'll do a little random draw.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That'd be fun. A little interaction.
So, guys, comment down below just the questions that we've already asked you guys, and for a chance to be entered in to win a little prize pack.
It'd be sweet.
Sounds good, guys.
Bag.
Riley, you wanna bring us out with your with your glowing presence? Bring us out.
Well, guys, thanks for watching the Rec Report. My name's Riley. That's Evan. We got Lyle. And we'll catch you next time.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Peace out.
Peace.